Here we have the Wildgame Innovations budget feeder. Went ahead and pre-assembled the main barrel in the garage, and it was pretty simple to just slap together. It snaps. Went ahead and as you can see, got this white residue. I added some silicone, some caulking, silicone that I had, and figured it would just make it a little bit of a water resistant seal. But snaps together pretty easy. Just some little 10mm bolts that hold the little legs, and then you have your box contraption. But we're going to go ahead and resurrect these poles, these legs, and get them snapped together and see what it looks like. One of our final steps is putting the hinge on the back side of the lid, and then we got to pop the lid into place. But just got our few extra screws, some little plastic spacers, so we're going to go ahead and put that on now. This is the clip, not much of a lock on the hatch, but this is, I guess, the clip that is going to hold the lid on top of the barrel assembly. All right. So we have the hinge mounted now in place. I actually had to take a drill bit and kind of make the holes bigger that were already provided, because those little plastic expansion tips, when I was trying to push them in there, heck, I couldn't get them in there at all. So I actually had to kind of ream the hole out a little bit to make them bigger. But got these pushed in. We've got our thick black plastic spacers behind each one of these. And I went ahead and took 2-inch construction nails and just went ahead and drove them through here, because the nails that you get with this kit are little bitty. They're very small, thin needles, and there's really not much of a head to grab onto with them. So I found just using, some, basic Phillip head screws works a lot better. So let's go ahead and put our lid on now. One thing to note is in the instructions it mentions this latch clip and doesn't really get specific on how it goes in place, and you can see there's some screw holes here. But basically it's going to slip on just like that, and you're going to push it down over the edge, and it has two little indentations that allow it to hook. So once you push it on, you can't really pull it off. It's on there. So whenever you close it, it kind of snaps into place. And I don't know, there's nothing left in the kit, so I don't know what goes in these holes. I've got a couple screws left, but something, maybe a better latch, like a lock. But if we want to pop it open, you kind of got to grab it tight and give it a yank. But yeah, I guess that works. Probably not the greatest latch design, but it works. All right, we got it resurrected. These legs are very similar to any other budget feeder. They just slide together, and there's really nothing that keeps them in place. They just they spin freely, and even this guy just kind of slides right up into there. It didn't specify in the instructions, but you'll notice here that there's a little bit of there's a little hole there that's non-existent on the top half. So I'm probably going to go ahead and take a drill bit, drill a hole in there, and then we'll put a bolt in there. As for keeping these poles together and preventing them from sliding out and getting knocked, because I did have another feeder similar to this one, a game winner feeder, not the Wildgame Innovations, and I didn't really do anything to these legs. I left them loose, and some wild pigs came and of course uprooted the little boot assembly that we had on it, and were able to knock it loose just because of this. So I went ahead and I took a drill bit, and I drilled holes in each connecting point and shoved a nice size bolt, little a long skinny bolt screw, and just stuck it through there, and it prevented them from coming loose. But also I picked up this, I think this was a game winner 6-volt solar panel. Just has a little simple bracket, and it's got a protected cable that sends the positive and negative cable ties into here. Went ahead and took a 1/2-inch drill bit and went ahead and got these all hooked up. So one thing I really like about the Wildgame Innovations is that they made this box the perfect size to where it's not too big. It keeps everything snug. The battery fits snugly in here, and they even have your little programmer set up to where it's right here ready to go. But you can see this battery, I pulled it out of my toolbox. It has you can see it is 0 on the power. So I'm going to leave it out here and just not do anything to it. Let this solar panel charge it up over the next couple weeks, and probably even change out these alligator clips to these slip-ons. These are a little bit more reliable. These alligator clips can easily get popped loose and they're not really in place. But all in all, I think this is for $80 up at the Walmart, I think it's a good bang for the buck. My buddy purchased this one last year, said it worked real nice for him. It was just he took some Gorilla Tape, which is another good option. He complained about these legs just being so loosey-goosey. So definitely a negative. You got to make sure you secure these somehow, and a positive is that they really did a good job designing this control box to where you don't have to worry about pulling this thing out and knocking your wires loose. And as soon as you get some slippies on here, and we got that you can see where we got that, there's a nice little space where you can get a solar panel cable in and get these ties on it to hook it up nice. But yeah, I'll go ahead and leave that as this unboxing video. And oh wait, let me forget to mention, and you don't get any feet with these legs. So I went ahead and took some little square pieces of wood. I drilled a 3-inch screw upward through the bottom, and that way these legs they don't slip off of it. This nail, there's a big 3-inch nail that's keeping this pipe from slipping off of this piece of wood in the meantime, until I can find a better alternative, because that is definitely a negative. As soon as it starts to rain and the water gets soft, it's going to get pushed right up in there. And I think that's probably one of the biggest complaints that most people will say about these, is that they start to lean and they start to sag one side or the other, because those aren't really the best legs to have. You got to have something flat on the bottom to prevent them from sliding down in the mud. But I'll quit rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.